I stood in our cold kitchen after working a brutal 12-hour shift when my stepmother Victoria cornered me with a smug grin on her face. She folded her arms tightly and demanded $800 a month just to keep living in my childhood home. Her son Mason was upstairs screaming at his television while her daughter Chloe took pictures in the hallway. I did not argue because Victoria had no idea what was coming. Before we continue with this shocking experience, please take a quick moment to subscribe to the channel right now. I would love to know where you are watching this video from today, and what the weather is currently like in your hometown. Drop your location in the comments section below because reading your responses means so much to our growing story community. Now let us get back to the story. This 4-bedroom house in Denver belonged to my sweet grandparents Arthur and Evelyn long before Victoria ever entered our lives. After my mother passed away when I was 8, my grandparents sold their own property across the city to move in and raise me with endless love. Evelyn taught me how to cook while Arthur tended the rose garden outside, filling every corner with warmth that saved my childhood. Everything shifted when my father met Victoria at a business function and invited her family to move into our home. Victoria instantly began throwing away my grandmother's cherished ceramic bowls and replacing them with modern decorations. Her 2 children Mason and Chloe made themselves comfortable right away while Victoria slowly shifted every single household chore onto my shoulders as if I was their personal hired servant. By the time I turned 16, I was cooking every meal, scrubbing floors, and doing laundry for 5 people while managing my own schoolwork. Mason spent his afternoons playing video games in the den, while Chloe made vanity videos in the hallway mirror, completely ignoring my presence. Whenever I asked for help, Victoria smiled sweetly and claimed her children had special needs while I was simply far more mature. The real turning point happened on a freezing evening when I accidentally overheard Victoria talking quietly to my father in her private room. She told him that I was holding the family back and urged him to send me away to an out-of-state college as soon as possible. Hearing my father silently agree shattered my heart into pieces and made me realize that staying quiet was no longer an option. Late that night, I walked into the back storage room where the air still smelled faintly of my grandmother's favorite lavender sachets. I opened an old wooden trunk and discovered a sealed envelope with my name written in my grandmother's sharp handwriting. Inside were official legal documents proving that my grandparents had bought the home outright and officially transferred the title directly into my name before they passed away. The next afternoon, I drove across Denver to show the legal paperwork to Georgia, who was my late mother's closest friend. Georgia read through the legal papers with tears in her eyes and confirmed that my grandparents had intentionally protected me against Victoria's greed. She also handed me additional financial records showing that my father had known about the property transfer all along but kept quiet to avoid conflict. I returned home that evening feeling a sense of certainty and quiet power that I had not experienced in many years. Victoria was sitting on the living room couch scrolling through her phone without a single care in the world. She truly believed she held complete control over our household, but she had no idea that her cruelty was about to trigger her own undoing very soon. The following night, Victoria called a formal family meeting in the dining room with a fake smile plastered across her face. Mason sprawled out on the couch with his headset while Chloe adjusted her ring light nearby. Victoria slid a sheet of paper across the table and declared that $800 a month was a fair monthly rent contribution for my small bedroom upstairs. My father walked into the dining room looking exhausted and immediately supported Victoria's demand for my hard-earned money. I asked him directly if he truly believed it was fair for me to pay monthly rent while Mason and Chloe lived completely free. My father hesitated for a moment before claiming that the other 2 children were still trying to find their path in life. I slowly pulled out my grandmother's envelope and placed the original property deed directly onto the center of the wooden table. I informed everyone in the room that this home legally belonged to me and always had. My father closed his eyes in overwhelming shame while Victoria laughed out loud and called my statement a ridiculous fantasy until my father quietly admitted the truth. Victoria began shouting wildly and claiming that she managed the house for 12 years, so she deserved respect and partial ownership. I reached into my bag and pulled out my phone, playing the clear audio recording of her plotting to kick me out to college. Mason gasped in shock while Chloe turned pale as Victoria's polished control completely collapsed right in front of her family. Before Victoria could recover, I handed her the official legal eviction notice stamped by the local city court earlier that morning. She stared at the legal papers in utter disbelief and begged my father to stop me, but he simply looked away in complete defeat. I informed Victoria that she had exactly 2 weeks to pack her belongings and vacate my property permanently. 2 weeks passed quickly, and the morning Victoria finally packed her bags, the entire house felt peaceful for the first time in years. Mason complained loudly as he loaded his gaming equipment into a moving truck while Chloe cried softly near the driveway. My father decided to stay elsewhere for a while, leaving me to finally breathe clean air in my own home. Georgia moved into one of the spare bedrooms shortly after, and helped me restore my grandmother's favorite vintage decorations. Reclaiming this home taught me that setting firm boundaries is not about seeking revenge, but about standing up for your self-worth. My grandparents left me a powerful reminder that real love continues to protect you long after loved ones are gone. If you were inspired by this story, please press the subscribe button right now to join our community. If you would like to watch another powerful real-life drama story, just like this one, click on the video displayed on your end screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.